Hello everyone. Jewish dispersions, a goal beyond suffering and displacement. Summary of the story. In this discussion, the historical and contemporary challenges of the Jews and how these challenges affect their other nations are discussed. The Jews have faced many problems and disasters throughout history, and this situation is expressed in some way uh, in their scriptures, especially the Tanakh. God tells the Jews in these texts that these pledges are for both the Jews and other nations to understand that He exists. He is God, about God's existence. However, it begs the question: if the Jews have not been able to solve the problems, what can other nations do to help the Jews and at the same time make themselves more aware of the existence of God? Logical propositions. Dispersions of the Jews. The Jews are scattered all over the world due to the many deeds and calamities they have suffered. God's rule. God tells the Jews in Tanakh that the pledges are to understand His existence. The lack of the faith of the Jews. Despite these pledges, the Jews still do not believe in God. The responsibility of other nations. Other nations can use the Jewish experience to strengthen their faith in God. Practical measures. The question is what other nations can do to help the Jews and themselves. A mean of proving the existence of God. The dispersion of Jews throughout the world is a mean of proving the existence of God and inviting other nations to face attention to God's will. Trying to solve the Jewish problems without attention to God's will may be fruitless. This is the logical formula commentary. This formula shows that the challenges and calamities of the Jews affect not only themselves but also other nations. Consequently, the question is whether other nations can learn from these experiences and what steps they can take to support the Jews. Conclusion. In considering the history of the Jews and the calamities they have endured, other nations can use these experiences to strengthen their faith in God and help the Jews at the same time. This cooperation can lead to better understanding and greater solidarity between nations. Question. Do you believe that other nations can use the experiences of Jews to strengthen their faith in God? Yes, this is a proper way. No, each nation must find its own way. It depends on the historical context. These experiences can help solidarity between nations. I have no opinion. Thank you so much for your attention.